hand is not showing up. There's like a lag. All right, these need to all be the same. You'll see that the words are centered in this text box, top to bottom. We know that to do the paragraphs, this is what we would do, but that's not top to bottom in the box. So where do we find that idea? And that is because think of your text frame as an object, and that object has some options, and under the object menu, we're going to go to text frame objects, text frame options, and you're going to see here there's a bunch of things. One, you can have multiple columns in your text box, which you're going to need for the final project. So you can change the number of columns, you can change the gutter, you can insert spacing all the way around, you can ignore the text wrap. So let's say this had extra text wrap on it and you wanted to ignore it, you could click that button. You can also align your text in various ways to the bottom. You can justify it, that's weird, or center it, say okay. All right, lastly but not leastly, you're gonna see that we're gonna make these things look like those things. And how are we gonna do that? One way, first of all, you're gonna notice that this is a text box with 3 columns. So if I Command B, which is our text frame options, you'll see that I've got 3 columns and the gutter is 0.4788 inches between there because this is a big poster. Okay, I'm going to look here and I'm going to notice that it's Helvetica bold, 28 points on 36 point leading with 0, like over here for our text thing, right? I could remember all those things, or I could click on this, and then I'm going to use this eyedropper tool. Make sure it's this regular eyedropper, not the color theme or the measure tool. And then if I click on this text, it's going to make it the same as this one. And now it's got all those things that I sampled from that one thing. If I were going to go and change, say, this one, or change that, if I select those type, because this is just individual letters, I could change a bunch of other things. Okay, so I changed it. Now I'm going to switch back to my selection tool, or actually my text tool, and I want to show you the tab, how to do tabs. So how do we do tabs? A hanging indent. You'll see that my paragraph panel here is showing that I have the whole paragraph shoved over 1/4 inch, and I have my first line moved back 1/4 inch, and that's how I'm getting this hanging indent here. In order to figure out where the tab goes, because this first line I think is just moved over with I don't know if it's tabbed or not. I think not. I'm gonna go under the type menu and I'm gonna bring up the tab options, and that has this little rulery thing, and you'll see there's my hanging indent. So that's my first line, that's my paragraph, and then I'm gonna add a tab at 0.25, which is where my hanging indent is, and that's gonna help when I make this a tab, that it helps line it up so that because my hanging indent could be more or less, and then it might not be the same if I just put a bunch of spaces in there. Okay, so that's how you create a hanging indent. So we could do that here. We could say it's already indented 0.5. We're going to make that first line minus 0.25, and then we're going to select this space, enter the tab key, and then we're going to put, and you can type in the number here, 0.25 if you want. Put a left tab at that 0.25 space. Another thing we're noticing here in our paragraph panel is that there's space after. So this one, we're going to add 0.25 space after. Okay, that's the long way. The sneaky way is to select our whole paragraph here, do the eyedropper tool and click on that paragraph. It's going to grab, see how it grabbed all the things for the paragraph. And now when I go in, and that's just a space, and I'm going to hit the tab, and now that all lines up. There's one more way you can create tabs, which is, I think, a lot easier. I'm going to show you my type hidden characters, and I'm going to zoom in here. Okay. So hanging indents are nice, but I'm gonna put some spaces in here instead, and you're gonna see that even though it's a hanging indent, I'd have to figure out if I wanted it to go over there, and I didn't want to have to figure out where the tabs were. I'd have to do a lot of like guesswork as far as this kind of like where this was. I'd have to shove it over, and then I'd have to make it go backwards, and it would be a royal pain in the bum. So another way you can do it is if you do Command and then the up and down line right under the delete key. That adds this special character here that lines all the following text up with that special key. Okay, and I was able, these things don't print. They're just hidden characters that allow the program to put things where you want them. So just know that that's possible on that on the homework with the brochure with the hanging indents. You can do it that way if you want to. It's pretty easy. So that's Command. So let's say none of this was happening. Let's say there was no hanging indent. So you'd say, just put the cursor where you want it to go, and then Command, and then that upright bar under the delete key, and then it makes it do the thing. All right, and then lastly but not leastly for this project, you're going to save it. So save as your last name, first name. Save as, put your last name, first name. All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to package the file. So you're going to go under File to this package idea right here. What that does is it collects all your images and fonts and checks to make sure you don't have any overset text or RGB color spaces or anything like that, which we don't. So in your magazine final thing, you will have an alert there because you will be using RGB color space in your Photoshop file, but it's okay for this. For our purposes, you're going to hit package. It's going to create, this is the folder name. You leave that the same, and the folder is going wherever your file was. You want it to collect the fonts, the graphics, the updated graphics, include IDML and PDF. You want a high quality print. You're going to say package. Say okay. All right. Okay. And then what you're going to do is, once it's done, hopefully it finishes. Hello. Then what you're going to do is go to the folder, and it looks like it's still creating the PDF and IDML, but I'm going to run out of time. So then what you would do is, once it's done and you can see all the documents in there, the PDF and the IDML files, you're going to, and I'll do it on a different one. We'll say the magazine cover one, which is what you're going to have to do anyway. You're going to click on this folder, and then you're going to go in the Finder window. You're going to find it. And you're going to go File, Compress, okay, and then what you're going to do is submit. That's going to create this zip file. You'll still have your original folder of the suicide prevention poster, but you're going to submit the zip file, and this zip file has collected, you can't send me a folder, so because that's an address on your computer, you have to send me a zip file. Okay, this looks like it's not working, but hopefully yours will work. I'm going to hit cancel, and then Yeah, let's just quit the video. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.